All right, welcome back for round number 7 of chapter 1 with income. Today we're going to talk about comparing different types of income. So, how your pay can vary is if you are just paid by the hour, you might get paid by the hour and you may get overtime. You may get paid by the hour plus piecework. You could work by the hour and commission. And you could, work by salary plus might get paid by piecework. Well, that doesn't happen very often, but you can get salary and commission, right? Like, say, an RV salesman or some car salesman. So sometimes you may be offered multiple jobs, and you got to decide, okay, which one's going to be the best for me. So let's take a look here. So Jason earns $10.40 per hour, and Denise works earns $9.10 an hour, but she gets time and a half for hours worked over 40. So who would make more money in a regular week? So typically, you work 40 hours. So right then and there, I can see that Jason would earn more money than Denise because he's making more money per hour. But what if you have to do overtime? Right? Jason doesn't get overtime. He doesn't get time and a half. It's strict $10.40 an hour. But Denise earns some extra money. So if there's that chance to work more than the 40 hours, who's going to benefit? So let's do a little test. Let's say they both worked 50 hours for the week. So Jason gets paid $10.40 per hour, and he's worked 50 hours. So if we do the math, that is going to be $520. So that's Jason. And then let's do Denise. So she earns $9.10 an hour, and she earns that for the first 40. So at regular pay, for 40 hours, she earns $364. But then she worked 10 hours and time and a half. So we're going to take the $9.10 and multiply that by 1.5. So her overtime salary would be $13.65. So you take the $13.65 and you multiply that by the 10 hours she worked over the 40. So that's $136.50. And so we add those two together. So we take the $364 and then we add 136.5, $550. So still, even though Denise is getting time and a half, Jason still earns more. Okay. Let's take a look at number 2 here. So let's figure out who has a higher gross annual income if they both work 50 weeks. So Conrad gets paid $8 an hour, and he works 40 hours per week, and he makes $300 per week in tips. So first off, let's do Conrad. So he works 40 hours. Now we're going to times that by 8, just $320. And then he's worked 50 weeks. So I'm going to times that by 50. So just a sec, my calculator timed out. So I'm going to take 320, multiply that by 50. So I get $16,000. Now Conrad also gets tips. So he gets $300 in tips each week. So we're going to multiply that by 50. And that is another $15,000. So in total, Conrad makes $31,000 a year. Well, let's take a look at Dayton. Let's do Dayton in red. So he earns a salary per week. He gets a commission. And of that commission, he sells that much. Okay. So first off, he earns $280 per week. So we're going to multiply that by 50 for 50 weeks, which gives me, so 280 times 50, 14,000. So each week he sells $3,300 in sales. So I'm going to times that 5.04. So that's $132. Oops. Go away. So we times that by 50. So that's $6,600. So then for the gross, I'm going to take the salary of the $14,000 plus the $6,600. So he makes $20,600 per year. So I'd go with Conrad's. All right, Jody earns $21.20 per hour, plus time and a half for any hours that she works over 40. So last week she worked 40 hours. So Jody, 21.20 times 40. So she made $848. Aiden earns an annual salary of $43,000, who had the higher gross income for the week. So Aiden, let's go back to blue, earned $43,000 for the year. And there are 52 weeks in a year, so we're going to divide that by 52. So we'll take the 43,000, divide it by 52. So that is $826.92. So in that particular case, Jody is the winner. All right, so let's do for page 26 and 27. Let's do numbers 1 to 8 for me, please. Okay, don't forget to check your answers, and we'll see you. We got one more section to do here in chapter 1, and then we are done. Excellent job.